Sigurður, we're standing in front of your work, Perpetual Motion. It's very hypnotic.
Thank you so much.
What's the inspiration for it? How did this evolve?
The starting point is experimentation with materiality and tools and devices. It's always the start. But in this piece I'm experimenting with metal dust, magnet. The magnet is connected to a motor that runs the whole piece.
How did you come up with this very sculptural, large-scale format?
I was always thinking about this idea of getting away from this standard video setup where you sit down on bench and watch film. So yeah, it was something about experimenting a little bit with the medium, and also this. Normally I'm quite inspired by the space where I'm showing, so I'm trying to find a way to connect the piece to the space.
And you went to CERN, I believe, to have a chat with the curator, Monica Belli.
Yeah.
How did that help the conversation? How did that collaboration evolve?
We first met 2 years ago in CERN. It was quite a short trip. So it was very much just in the beginning of the process, but then of course we went into a totally different direction through the dialogue. So CERN is there, but yeah, it's hard to say how much of CERN is inside this piece.
But I love this idea, the association, I guess, of these particles being propelled away from each other in this large tunnel-like space. You know, there is a bit of a connection there.
Yeah, it has a poetical connection maybe, but not in a direct way.
How did you create this feeling of sort of like a continuous landscape unfolding? I'm sort of riveted by how you made that happen.
Yeah, so the magnet is connected to a motor.
Yeah.
And this motor is constantly rotating, and then it's filmed with ultra macro lens, and then afterwards the materials is transformed in the computer a little bit. So it's a step-by-step process, kind of.
Is it the same film we're seeing moving in a different direction?
Yeah, but you're seeing it in different time, so it's not total mirror somehow.
The impact of it, I can see people sitting around in a very meditative state. I mean, the soundtrack is clearly benefiting this sense of, it's almost like a gong bath experience. You collaborated with a composer for this, yeah?
Yeah, I collaborated with the Icelandic composer Sigurður Guðjónsson. He's a good friend of mine from Iceland, and we were just throwing the sound back and forth through the whole process. And this is the outcome. It's a 45 minutes long soundscape. Yeah, so it's kind of scape that it goes through.
I believe people are reporting they see all kinds of things like forest landscapes. It feels very Icelandic in that way.
I think the metaphor is quite open, but yeah, definitely one might go into the landscape of the material, but other might go into factory or something.
To what extent were you responding to the curatorial sort of theme of this year's Biennale?
At the Biennale?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. Transformation is one theme, and also, yeah, the connection between individual and technology. So I think we have connection there.
Yeah, it feels like a very bodily experience, even though what you're looking at is very much man-made.
Yeah, and this physical experience in space is always important for me.
Yeah.
And it's not a piece you experience on computer screen or iPhone.
I believe the soundtrack is also inspired by metal filings. Is it actual recording of metal?
No, the soundscape is kind of inspired by the visual content. So the image came first, the visual material, and the construction also. Then we take this material and so it's kind of, the whole setup is inspiration for the soundscape.
Did it all come together quite seamlessly? It sounds like quite a straightforward approach when you describe it.
I think it's never
It's
like
never that easy.
No, it's never that easy. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think, yeah, you go through so, yeah, you're going up and down in a process like this. But I think it was last summer when we had chance to visit the space, then I found, okay, this is the direction we should go. Because it was very important to see the flow in the whole building.
And how do you feel it works in this context?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a very unique experience.
Yeah. I mean, people really slow down.
Yeah, they slow down. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.